joining me tonight is Jess.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all. And Nicole.
Hi.
Mama Kay is also here.
Hi, everybody.
Jesus, where's the energy? My God, this is.
I told you I've been sick for a week and a half. I'm rallying here.
I know. We appreciate
Mama
you.
Kay's sick. Nicole's uncomfortable. And I guess I'm just me.
Well, they didn't hear the first 20 minutes. I don't know why Nicole's like. Now it sounds like there's a hostage. We are doing.
Might be.
It's the realization that
She kind of is.
it's September already, which is absolutely frightening and crazy to me.
Yeah, we are recording this last couple of days of August, and it has been moving. Time's pretty relentless these days.
True.
It just does not.
Yeah.
It don't stop. But
So
we are
it
doing.
happens when you're busy.
I've heard it's also when we get older. Is that it doesn't? It keeps getting faster every day, doesn't it? Like you start blinking and there's full days.
It sounds kind of nice.
Pretty much,
for
yep.
my boring days. Just get through.
We're actually about to talk about some blinking. But first, I'll just do our little intro. It's a catch-up show. We're catching up on all the stuff we've seen in the past 6 weeks, probably about July and August. Theater stuff, streaming stuff, old TV shows, probably from a few of our hosts. But I think we can probably start with something maybe more contemporary, something that came out very recently, and I know at least two of us have seen it. Blink Twice. Blink Twice is what we're going to start with. It's a new horror film from first-time director.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, not first-time director. Starring Channing Tatum, but from first-time director Zoe Kravitz. Yes,
His
musician
wife.
and actress sometimes.
You're not supposed to shit where you eat, but look what they did.
There you go. So not to bury all the lead, but there you go. It's Blink Twice, directed by Zoe Kravitz, starring Channing Tatum, Naomi Ackie, Aaliyah Shawkat, Taylor Joel Osment, a bunch of other people. But it is got a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes right now with the critics, 7 on IMDb, 67 with the audience on, what is this, Metacritic? But so, kind of middle high, pretty good for a directorial debut. It's these two women. They go to like a party hosted by this billionaire. That's a Channing Tatum character, and he's like, "You want to come back to my island with all my scumbag people?" And they're like, "Yeah, this is fine." And then the whole movie's on the island, and it's a trip. Jess, I think you've seen this. Did anyone else see Blink Twice? Just Jess, I'm assuming. No. Yeah. Well, Jess, what did you think of Blink Twice?
What did I think of Blink Twice? So I remember this. I saw previews for this for a while. Like I think probably months ago, you see it in the trailers before the movies. Then it kind of dropped off and I forgot about it. And then I was like, oh wow, this is out. I was excited to see it, but I am kind of tired of the theme of a bunch of diverse, eccentric personalities get together and then like they see what happens. Like Knives Out, that was like that. The sequel, Glass Onion, I think there was like a murder mystery or even two or like a haunted house and they were also kind of like that. So I feel like that's kind of the theme going on and I don't know if I really find it super entertaining. I think I just for the most part find it obnoxious because I think the characters are just too out there for me. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, it's just one of those kinds of movies. But obviously I'm still going to see it. It looked good and it was thriller-ish. And when I saw it, I think I liked it better than I expected, but I feel like it wasn't all the way there for me. It's definitely had more blood, more gory than I was expecting. There was none of that in the trailer, so I didn't expect to see any of that in the theater. There were definitely twists that I didn't see coming.
Yes.
I really liked the music. Like I actually wanted to download that soundtrack afterwards. And I normally don't pay attention to music, but I really like the song choices they chose here. And I like the white dresses. I wanted to see if I can find one similar on Amazon.
I said I thought I saw a good Letterboxd review of this one. It was like salt burnification of Get Out or something. I was like, I can't remember. It was something like that. I'm like, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good way. It's very glossy and dressed up. Oh, the music very good. I agree.
Yeah. And I mean, it was artsy. It definitely was quirky, but not enough where it would just piss me off. I think it was just the right edge.
It just walked the line.
A little different. Yeah.
Was it more horror or thriller?
Thriller. Absolutely thriller. not horror, I would say.
There
like,
weren't any like jump scares. It was more just like gory blood.
More of like a mystery, like you know something wrong is going to happen and like what's going to happen, and like I guess thriller mystery, because I can't really recall jump scares. There's probably like loud music stings, but every movie does that now. That's not like horror exclusive anymore. It's just but yeah, the first 2/3 were, I thought, like really slick and good, and I was like, oh yeah, this is for a debut. This is really good. And then the third act is like, ooh man, that's like a roller coaster of not the best execution. Like it's just so, I don't want to spoil what happens because it's okay. Like it's not like an unsatisfying ending per se. Except, well, I don't even want to say that. Actually, what did you think of the last 2 minutes, Jess? I don't want to give away what actually happens, but did you
the last 2 minutes?
Yeah, like the very end of how. Don't say what happens because but yeah.
Fine. I did not see that coming. It definitely has a feminist kind of twist in it. Like there's 2 scenes where it's just like women empowerment, which I didn't catch from the trailer either, but that's kind of how it ends, and then there's a few hints of that throughout the movie.
I didn't know that was what we were doing until that's what we were doing, and I was like, I don't think that was part of the clunkiness. There's also a male character in there that they have like kind of. It's just clunky. I don't want to give away all the twists and turns because if we talk too much about it, it will. But I think it's worth seeing. Definitely if it comes out streaming, I think it's worthy of streaming. You think Mama Kay or Nicole would get anything out of this, Jess?
I don't know if... I think Mama... do you like blood? I feel like she doesn't like blood. I don't know.
It's a good amount of blood, I guess. I did forget how much blood was in it. Now that you mention it, there was...
Nicole would be crazy about it, and I don't know if Mama Kay can stomach the blood, especially right now.
That's possible. Well, blink twice.
I mean, I've watched Yellowstone, so.
Oh, yeah. Nicole's not allowed to watch that. Well, blink twice is sounds like generally positive reviews from us. Not perfect, but better than maybe we were expecting. It was about what I was expecting, and it was doing really well there for a while, but kind of faltered towards the end. But blink twice might still be
bad.
Yeah, but for a first-time director, I mean, I'd see another Zoe Kravitz movie. It's slick. You could tell it's made by like a music person. It's the camera shots, and there's some good. The sound editing is really good. There's like a perfume bottle that gets opened a lot in the whole thing, and it's got this musical sting and they use it really. It's definitely really cared for in a visual way. It just needs another script pass or so. But yeah, blink twice. Maybe we talk about another Channing Tatum movie. I haven't seen any others, but maybe Mama Kay saw a Channing Tatum film in the past month or so in the theaters.
Didn't I also? Or no?
Oh, I think I'm sure I did, actually. And I was surprised we didn't talk about this, but I saw Fly Me to the Moon.
Oh,
Fly Me to the Moon. Jess, you see that?
With Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson.
I also missed Fly Me to the Moon. And then, Nicole didn't venture to a theater without me. So you're going to be going solo on this one, okay?
Not to the theater, yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, the basis of the movie is that it's going to be for the moon landing, but they want to make sure that in case the moon landing doesn't happen, they have a set up that looks just like the moon, what they think the moon's going to look like or whatever. And this is a just in case scenario. Well, it's nonsensical.
Oh no, it looked like it would have been. That's why I didn't see it.
Oh no. It seems it's a straightforward sort of premise, but it's just hard to sort of fathom. I think most people fall into the we did land on the moon situation, but there are people who fall into it was a backlot on a movie set somewhere. So having both of them in one movie, maybe it's a clever idea. It was hard for me to watch Channing Tatum as he's supposed to be this really smart scientist kind of guy who is nerdy also.
And you're like, no, he's definitely a jock.
Yeah.
Is this like Glenn Powell trying to be the nerd and hitman, but not good?
That's exactly the vibe that you get. Although I think Glenn Powell pulled it off.
As I say, like that, but worse. but not as good.
But couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have Scarlett Johansson, who's also, she's she's a woman in a field that women were just getting into, and she's sort of brash and I can believe that a little more. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. There are some really nice moments, but not a whole movie full.
That's a shame. From the trailer, it looked like it was just being pushed, or not. The advertising made it look like we're really focusing on the rom-com element, and that the moon thing is like a backdrop, almost like a that's an afterthought. Like, we don't actually need to make any of that make sense. It'll be more goofy antics so that they can meet cute. And I'm like, that's a really weird meet cute. Is we're gonna fake the moon landing in case, but still do the moon. Isn't that the premise? They're gonna do the moon landing, but in case the moon landing doesn't work, we have to fake it so that we have
they were gonna go,
an option.
Right, and it was going to go direct to the live fake moon landing when the real one doesn't work. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I
realized TV was a lot more. There was a lot more leeway back then about that kind of stuff. But yeah, and there was romance involved, but I don't think I'd classify it as a rom-com.
Well, Fly Me to the Moon sounds like a mild not recommend.
Yeah, I don't think it's a recommend.
Well, there you go. Fly Me to the Moon. Channing Tatum, only 1 for 2 on this episode. I don't know. He might come up. You know what? Let's just finish him off one more time. We did a Deadpool Wolverine episode, but Jess, real quick, back to you. I know you saw it. Did you have an opinion on Deadpool Wolverine?
Oh, wow. I don't even remember that. Well, you guys already reviewed that, didn't you?
We reviewed it. No, we were going to, the three of us, and you were like, you know what, you guys can do that one without me. I'll do the TV show instead. And so that's what you guys did instead.
Yeah. That's already erased from my memory. Let's move on to the next one.
We don't need to harp on that one though. You know what, Nicole, you haven't chimed in on a thing. Have you watched any films, television shows, maybe a YouTube series, something?
I don't think I've watched any movies, to be honest with you.
No.
She's fired.
Yeah,
we actually did watch one. Have we talked about Monolith on here?
I'm sorry, but I can't understand a word that you're saying.
I said, did we talk about Monolith on here?
Monolith? I guess not. It doesn't sound like we have.
Okay, I was just thinking that's the only movie I remember you being in the room with me for.
I did watch that one.
So. And you seem to be in understanding what was going on, like paying attention mildly.
Yeah, because it didn't.
I don't even know what that is.
So I'm not sure what streaming service that was on. I'm sure Brendan knows.
I believe this one was on Hulu. I'll double check now.
Yeah, but it
Monolith is the name of the film, by the way.
Yeah, it was like a mystery, like an extraterrestrial, something's going on with this peculiar object that somebody has, and this podcaster finds out about it, and she's about to get let go of her job, and this is now her new breaking story. I believe that's how it goes, and it's just following the case of what this thing is and what it means, and I feel like it left a little bit unturned. I wish there was a little bit more to it. The ending was fine for what it was, but I feel like they could have made it a little bit more exciting. I feel like it just kind of fell flat a little bit, but it was still interesting. In the world of movies that have some object or thing that has meaning or is from something power specific. Yes. I feel like this one kind of was on the lower end of that. And it also has stuff that I don't really care for in movies, like double people and the same person showing up in the different timelines, that kind of stuff. I'm not into that. I don't want to call it time travel. It wasn't.
It goes a little space bent. Like the themes are space bendy. The actual filming of it is a very. I don't know if we've said it. It's pretty much all shot her sitting in a chair, with her headphones on, talking to people. Like kind of like what was that? Remember Vast of Night, Mama K, from a couple years ago? It's kind of filmed like Vast of Night, where it's all just Vast of Night. The guy.
It reminds me of the one movie that's the woman that's deaf in the cabin. Not the same premise, but the way that it was shot feels that way. Where
Hush,
we're just following.
I believe it was called.
Yeah, we're just following her around doing these activities, and that's basically what this was.
Yeah, I thought it was a little.
It was okay,
better than you're selling it. I mean, not much better, honestly. It's kind of a lower budget movie, Australian film, I believe. But yeah, it was Monolith on Amazon Prime. I'd give it like a soft recommend. It's for a Prime movie. It's pretty good, honestly. Prime's not of the best streaming.
Yeah.
Did Prime make it? They didn't just buy it.
I think they acquired it. I don't think they just made it. It was one of those, like, I don't know if it was Red Arrow, or you know how there's not like a little bit lower indie tier kind of studios.
Yeah.
But not like total garbage.
It
just
still
like,
looked nice. Yeah, it looked nice.
No, I thought it was decent. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that one movie over the past 4 months, I tend to watch pretty much the same thing all the time, which is just various YouTube videos, because they're quick and I can do other things while watching them. And that's really how my life has kind of the direction it's taken recently. So, really been watching a lot of old Antiques Roadshow episodes on YouTube.
No.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
I love Antiques Roadshow, and I love the update episodes from when they bring back the pieces to tell us if they've appreciated or depreciated in value. It sounds so lame, but I've really been into that recently, and I don't remember if I don't remember if I mentioned this in the past, but there's just one reality show. Everyone's talking about Love Island, and that's not what I'm going to talk about. I haven't seen that at all. But Claim to Fame on Fox is grabbing my attention again. A game show about trying to figure out who the people on the show's famous relative is based on clues, and that's been pretty fun.
For reasons that we don't need to talk about, I had to look that show up recently from a request from Nicole, and all that came up was Jonas Brothers, and I'm like, is this a show just about the Jonas Brothers?
They're the hosts.
The third and fourth most famous ones are the hosts. Kevin
and Franklin, who's the one not in the band, they're the hosts of the show.
Franklin?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know the Jonas Brothers
the turtle
had a show
that teaches you to read.
It's the fourth one, yeah.
Get it? Because the show's the famous relative.
He's the claim to fame.
One of the relatives. This, I gotta tell you, like I watch them in the background as a diligent husband does. You know, the reality shows when they watch them, and this one is like a tough stomach. It's the people on it are particularly. I just do not care for them. They are. I do not often care for the personalities on the show because it's hard for me to escape the fact that they're just ghosting on their much more talented, famous, hardworking, smarter, better in every way relative.
That's not the point of the show. Like, these people could be related to anybody. I don't really care. I like the solving of the mysteries, and I like the clues and trying to figure it out myself. That's why I liked stupid shows like The Masked Singer, because I like the clues, try to figure out who it is, more so than the people itself. Like, it could be anything, but like the whodunit from 20 years ago. That was an awesome reality show because you're trying to figure out which, I don't know what it was from, early 2000s. I'm probably not that far off.
I would say for people who are under 30 years old, the modern version of that is the Traitors. But there used to be
the Traitors, one that was exactly but stuff similar. Like that. Yeah. I love the whodunit shows and finding out the mystery. So it just so happens that these people are related to some B-list has-beens, and you know what? I'm fine with that.
So do you like celebrity blinds? Like, you know, trying to figure out when people are. I'm not talking about curtains. Celebrity blinds, like.
Yeah, you know, these are Kim Cattrall's blinds.
Does them, and yeah, do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Okay, so there's several like entertainment bloggers who basically their whole thing is they put out blind items about certain people. They're not going to tell you what it is. They're really like, this A- list actress is secretly dating her co-star from the blah 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 blah.
No, I know.
Dumois really popular with it right now, but there's been like Perez Hilton's done it before, and there's been a couple other ones. That's not your jam.
So I don't care for that because I don't follow the gossip.
She likes solving the mysteries. She doesn't. That's like what she just said. She doesn't care about the personality.
I want every show to be like a episode of Clue.
She just likes solving puzzles.
I appreciate that.
I think true crime is definitely a very popular genre.
Oh well, I mean that leads me to my third thing. Whenever I'm doing my
we'll get back to movies in a second. Don't worry. You can. We'll let Nicole finish up the non-movie section.
Oh, this is the last thing. This is the last thing I've got. I think I've even mentioned this person before. But when I'm doing my painting and my relaxed time, my artwork, I always throw on YouTuber and podcaster That Chapter. He's an Irish guy named Mike, and his stories. Some of them are famous, some of them are not famous, and they're just things that he's researched and found information about. Some of them are huge cases, but they're about 30 minutes long. He's very thorough. He's funny, and that's a really great way to pass the time, in my opinion. Because I'll tell you what, I really am not a fan of some of these bigger true crime podcasters because I can't stand the back commentary and the gasping and the, oh my God, I can't believe that. What do you mean he did that? I'm like, I don't care about your opinion. I just want to hear the story.
Oh, geez.
I just want the story and I want to know who done it.
Yeah, I won't call any out in case anybody does listen to this and then get upset.
You literally hate shows like ours. You hate commentary. You hate people talking about things. Like you don't. Yeah,
I probably wouldn't listen to this if I wasn't on it.
Other people like to hear other people's candid conversations because it's just like hanging out. But you're like, nope. Every time you watch something, you have like a purpose. You're either giving me information, solve a puzzle. Like you are not messing around.
I don't have time to waste.
No,
Trying to
you
send
don't
your
suffer
father-in-law into
foolishness.
space.
All right, let's cut back. Jess, you're going to cover Alien Romulus because that seems logical. Alien Romulus.
This is the movie
this is
the
ninth Alien movie, if you're counting the Alien vs. Predator movies.
Really?
See, there's Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and there's one more.
Prey.
Oh, this one. There you go. No, Prey is part of Predator. Alien separate from Predator.
Oh my God.
Well,
anyway, Jess,
I
Alien
have no idea. I've never seen any of those movies. I wish I could unsee this movie. It was one of those. I tried to fall asleep in the theater and I just wasn't tired. So I probably
oh damn
only watched about the first 15 minutes when I realized this is definitely not for me. And I was just too uncomfortable. I think it was cold or something. I couldn't fall asleep. This was absolutely terrible. I hated every second of it. It was so dumb. I can't even tell you what it's about.
I'm guessing an alien.
I don't know. I never even saw it.
I can't defend
I don't even know
what
it looks like.
You still don't know what the alien... I've heard there's a lot of face huggers in this one. I've heard... I can't say to it my own experience because I haven't seen Alien Romulus, but it's basically greatest hits of the other ones. It's got like an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.4 IMDb. A lot of people are like, it's got like all the best moments and it's slickly made, but it's not saying any new kind of substantive things like some of the other ones have done. Since Jess doesn't sound like I has a ton of other opinions on it. Mama K, have you seen the Alien franchise at all? Any of the other ones? The originals, maybe?
The OG. Just the OG.
Just the original, not even Aliens, which is people often say is the best one.
No, I mean, I'm sure it's been on in the background of my life at some point, but there was no conscious decision to watch that.
I like Prometheus.
Alien was creepy, so...
Well, it is great. It's not my favorite franchise. I don't know the lore and like keep it all detailed, unfortunately. I like to do that when I can, when it's something good, worth doing. But I don't keep up with as much on the Aliens. But Nicole, what are your thoughts on Alien? You like it?
I like the first one. I don't think I've seen the Alien vs. Predator. I did just ask my mother via text what she thought because she did see it, and her response is, it was okay. A little predictable, and one part was very stupid, but it kind of kept up with the original. So I can't get any better than that.
There you go. Get a little review from Donna D. The little extra chime in from another woman in the life. Just she doesn't know how to use a microphone, so she wouldn't be able to tell us that. But there you go. Alien, Romulus, not the best reviews.
But she's using her texter
here. So, what else? Mama K, did you see any other films you'd like to talk about here? Streaming in the theaters?
Well, nothing else in the theater. I did spend some time on an airplane recently, and I watched something that I had been meaning to see for a long time over a couple of different flights because I couldn't fit it into just one. Wicked Little Letters.
Oh, Wicked Little Letters.
I think it's a 2023 movie with Olivia Colman, and it's brilliant. I was the person on the plane laughing out loud on the plane, not meaning to, because that's always a little bit sus, right? But it was funny, and it's from, I don't exactly know the era. I want to say it's like turn of the century England. I mean, it's got all the hallmarks for me, right?
That sounds very typical so far.
That's the hallmark right there. That's it right there. And turn of the century England, and there's a new woman that moves into this neighborhood, and she's a little rough around the edges compared to everybody else. And all of a sudden, these awful, nasty letters are starting to be written to everyone in the neighborhood, and this woman gets blamed for it. Wicked, and they're nasty. I mean, they've got a lot of really nasty words in them. And which on an I thought that was going to be all bleeped out on the airplane, but I'm realizing now that, I don't think that happens anymore. They used to be a lot more. They would take out a lot of words. You can watch anything on an airplane. You certainly can. There's some sexy movies going on.
Those are weird. Too. You can watch anything on an airplane if you know the right people. You know what I mean?
Just like I watch my best work on an airplane. I do my best work on an airplane.
The funny thing is watching other people watch everything on an airplane.
Yes. Yeah. That tends to be the first plane I got on this trip was the seat back didn't have a screen, and then the second flight it did have a screen, and the screen was broken. I'm like, this is not good. So and they were first class tickets, so that's not cool. So anyway, you should see this movie. It's very funny. I don't want to give anything away. Olivia Colman's the straight person in the movie, and I want to say it maxes out at maybe an hour 50 or something like that. So it's not super strenuous, but it's a good movie. You should watch it.
Available on any platforms presently? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Ooh, I'm seeing here. I'm seeing here Netflix. If you happen to have that, of course. Nicole and I do not currently. But
okay.
Wicked Little Letters gets
and
a
then
positive.
recently we saw The Union, which is on streaming. I believe that was Apple. No, I have no idea what streaming.
I believe that was also Netflix. If I was looking.
Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry.
And
it's a. Well, it takes place in Paris and London, so you would think that this would, again, be right up my alley, right? Great views of those types of things. But, yeah, it's an action-adventure with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry.
Oh, you're saying they're not in their prime?
Pass.
Neither are in their prime, and we're so led to believe that they are. So, and they surround them by other people they surrounded by other people who are further away from their prime. J.K. Simmons is like the boss guy. The guy who plays Luke Cage is in it. So there's nobody else younger to like show them up.
Gotcha.
It was nice to see Halle Berry in a movie again, though. She looks great.
I haven't seen, however, I kind of already relegated to, like, she kind of only does the B-level stuff anymore. I guess Mark Wahlberg has fallen there, too. I guess he's not in big things anymore. I can't think of the last thing.
I don't know where this movie came from, so.
I'm not taking any claim of this. I don't know where it came from. Well, we have I got a couple more horror movies. I'll take back a horror movie here. I don't know if anyone else saw Oddity. Anyone see Oddity? I guess it would just be Jess, because I know Nicole didn't.
I think, no, but I think I wanted to.
Oddity is a lovely little Irish film. It came out earlier this year. I seen July 19th. Damien McCarthy was the director, and it's got 96 Rotten Tomatoes, 79 audience, 6.8 IMDb. I'll just read you the synopsis here. After the brutal murder of her twin sister, Darcy goes after those responsible by using haunted items as her tools for revenge. Interesting little premise. So the beginning, I would say, like, the first 5 or 10 minutes, you get to see, like, the sister, and you get to see this strange man, and it's a very well shot scene, one of the best scenes of the year, and a very strong year of movies. First 5 minutes of this movie, I'm like, whoo, I'm on board. The next 20 to 30 minutes are like nails on a chalkboard, drags, sucks, so long, not interesting, talky, boring, and I like talky, not good. It's setting it up, and I can tell it's doing it, but it's clunky as hell. Then, the last hour, very, very, very good. Makes it up. It has a very hard time starting after that really great opening and, like, setting its premise up. Like, the one I just read you, she's using haunted items to, like, get revenge. Like, to set that up effectively is it turns out it's very difficult. It's difficult to do it entertainingly anyway, but once we understand, and I can't even really explain it to you, because if I did, it would take 20 minutes and it wouldn't be very interesting. But once we get to the actual thing, there's like a big clay monster guy, there's like spirits inhabiting items, and the filmmaking itself, you are terrified of this little Irish house they're in on the countryside, and it's, oh my goodness, very, very good last hour or so. If it weren't for that 20 or 30 minutes, this would be a top 5 of the year contender. But Oddity, for horror fans...
I'm mad I missed it.
And I would be really worried just that if you saw it in theaters, you'd get at the 30-minute mark and just be like, I can't, it's too crappy. But trust me, when it comes out, if you give it that chance to get back to the house, basically, it'll start coming around. Yeah. So Oddity, Irish horror film, and there's another horror film that I saw earlier, and I think you did see it, Jess. Longlegs, good old Nick Cage. Longlegs, things to talk about here. So I'll just give you the synopsis of here. FBI agent Lee Harker is assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes an unexpected turn, revealing evidence of the occult. And I'm going to stop there because this gives a spoiler, so I'm not going to read anymore. 86% Rotten Tomatoes, 6.9 IMDb, 77 Metacritic. And yeah, Jess, Longlegs, what were your thoughts on it?
Nicolas Cage just wanted a reason to act like a complete, whack job, so he made this movie.
No, you don't think that's why he took this, do you?
Yeah, he was just bored and he wanted to act like a weirdo. It was definitely one of those movies where it's it's indie, but it wasn't too bad where I wanted to walk out.
That's good.
I think I
thought you might have walked out of this one. I was expecting you to really hate Longlegs after I saw it. I'm like, oh no, this is not a Jess horror movie.
Nah, I didn't hate it. I think it was pretty predictable. I think we all knew that the mom was in on it in some way. Because she was just very...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, am I not supposed to... How am I supposed to talk about something without talking about something?
You know what? I hesitate on what to spoil. Because sometimes it's I don't want to give that away. But this one, I think it's fine. I don't think you have to. It's fine. Because we spoil.
Spoiler,
usually we always spoil everything.
Nicolas Cage is the villain. He is
but he's so normal looking. You'd think he's unsuspecting, you know? I don't know if you haven't seen Longlegs. He looks... If you guys want to Google a picture real quick, Nicolas Cage and Longlegs, it's, if you're listening, I mean, it's...
He's literally always the villain. I don't even care if he's the leading man. He's still the villain.
You still find him villainous even when he's the protagonist?
Yes! Some people, that's just the look. You know, there's character actors that are like that, and then he's just a main character actor that always looks like he's the villain.
At first, I thought the main character, the girl, I thought she was just kind of nerdy, awkward, and annoying, but she kind of grew on me. Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, the main girl I liked.
Knew.
I really liked her performance. This is very, if I had to say stylistically, this is Silence of the Lambs meets Seven, but minus a star, because it's not quite. Those are like all-time classic movies. This is not that, but it's still, it's so much Silence of the Lambs, and then also some Seven, and like slower, I would say. But yeah, I liked Longlegs. I was like 3.5 stars on Longlegs. It was one of those ones where like, it would be hard for me. I'm glad you didn't hate it, Jess. I'm glad you were just kind of like mixed on it, because
no. I didn't hate it.
There were some people who like I was read who hated Longlegs, and this is the kind of movie where like I would have a real problem hating it, and like also like me defending it would make it sound like, oh, you think it's like an amazing movie. I'm like, I don't think it's an amazing movie, but like it has merit, and to not be able to see that is frustrating. This is definitely a frustrating movie if I had to talk about it with people who thought it was crappy. So Longlegs, I thought it was above average, but not a sensation. Do you guys hear anything about it? It got a good amount of viral marketing on like TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff like that. But maybe not.
I think I remember when it first came out, but it wasn't anything I was going to be seeing. So, yeah.
I was saying, directed by Oz Perkins, who made The Black Coat's Daughter, and also Gretel and Hansel, a movie that Jess and I did that I don't think Jess liked at all, and I liked part of it, but it wasn't quite there. I preferred Longlegs. But, all right, those were the horror movies that I had there. Jess, did you have any other movies that you any other notable big ones that you wanted to talk about recently?
Did anyone see the Blake Lively movie?
Oh, the Blake Lively movie. What was that called? It ends with the living.
It ends with us.
It ends with us.
There we go. Blake Lively. It ends with us. Her and Ryan Reynolds.
It's funny. This guy at work came to my desk and he's like, "I saw It Ends With Us with my wife," and I'm like, "Why did your wife take you to see it? She should have seen it with her friend." And he was like, "I thought it was like a war movie. Like I thought it's called It Ends With Us."
I thought it was a war movie.
And I was like, what is wrong with you? Did you not even see the movie cover? It's Blake Lively with a bunch of flowers. So I think everyone knows the drama going on with Blake Lively right now. How she's like marketing this movie as a chick flick and trying to sell her hair brand, whereas this movie is definitely very much about domestic violence. It has some serious tones to it, and everyone's calling her tone deaf, and now they're trying to cancel her, saying that she's just like a bitch and like bringing up every clip of her entire life. How'd you not know any of this?
Oh, yeah.
This is not part of my... Do you guys know about these things?
Yeah.
All the things.
All right. Sorry. I'm out. You guys keep going. Take over.
Basically, I'm here for Blake Lively being canceled. So,
okay.
I was upset. I was upset how much I liked this movie. I thought it was so good.
Oh, no. It was good.
I know. It was good. I mean, it was a serious movie. Like, it was about domestic violence. This girl was her dad was an abuser, and then she grew up, and then she ended up marrying an abuser, so she had to kind of escape that. So it's just like a melodramatic, girlish movie, but definitely leaves you with goosebumps, and you're like, oh man, like I can't believe that happened. So, that's all I'll say about it. I really liked it. I thought it was great. Yeah. I think Mama Kay would like it too.
You think Mama Kay would enjoy?
Yeah. I don't know if Nicole would like it, but I think Mama Kay would.
I'm just feeling a little sour about that couple right now. And
that's what I'm saying. I'm here for them being canceled. I wanted to trash talk it, but it didn't walk out of the movie like that. I don't want
Ryan Reynolds to be canceled. You can cancel Blake Lively. I don't give a shit, but don't cancel Ryan.
I don't see why. Guys, I have no. Like, you described the scandal in brief things, but like I don't understand why I'm supposed to not like Blake Lively. I don't. It's fine. I don't really have a strong.
She's just a rude Simple Favor person. There's no like a real like big thing she did. It's just she's overall just conceited and rude, and then people are just taking every tape of her like interviewing and just like overly examining it.
Oh, that's fun. Everyone loves that.
I don't even think you have to over-examine it though, because most of them, the ones that I've seen, are just really awful. Really terrible. I mean, she is the character in a Simple Favor.
Oh, really? That's funny. I like that. I did like that movie.
That's what she's coming across.
Yeah, I like that movie too.
Which one of you guys didn't like that?
I love it.
I loved it.
I don't remember.
I liked it too. It must have been Nicole.
I don't really remember what it was about, but the big thing that, like Jess said, with Blake Lively right now, that the interview that everyone's talking about is when it was peak Me Too movement, and nobody was saying anything to her, so she had to get in on it and make her look like a fool in front of this interviewer who said something about her costumes when she was angry that they don't ask the men about their costumes. But then this movie, she's hyping up the costumes, and it's like, you can't go back.
That's a weird thing, I would say, to complain about it both ways. If she consistently complained about it, I would tend to believe that she was genuine and not just seeking attention. But it's an interesting way to do it. All right, well, it ends with us.
It seems like she needs some help with her, the people around her.
Needs to weed out the yes people, perhaps. It ends with us, a begrudgingly positive review from Jess, despite what she wants in her heart. She cannot say that it was not an entertaining movie. So, I have a film from HBO Max, or I guess, sorry, apologies, Max. I sound old as hell. HBO Max. That's ancient news. Problemista. Problemista is a.
I saw. Yeah. Someone
saw Problemista?
No, I saw that it was on the top trending or whatever.
I say you're of the three hosts. I think you're the one I'd probably recommend. Well, maybe Nicole. It might be too surreal for Jess. It's a surrealist comedy, and it's this like kind of timid, effeminate gentleman from El Salvador, and he wants to be a toy maker, and his ideas are all like weird and off-putting, and people don't like them. There's stuff like Barbie, but her fingers are crossed so that you know that she's got some secret going on, or a Cabbage Patch Kid with an iPhone, because I don't know, he thinks that's funny, but like no one else likes his style of humor, so he keeps getting rejected, and so he has to work at a place called Freeze Corp, which is a company that freezes you now and awakes you in the future, with the caveat that they don't currently have the technology to wake you in the future, but they promise that once they figure it out, they will wake you up in the future. So that just gives you kind of an idea of like the tone of this movie. Like those are the kind of quirky, what a strange little thing. But what this movie does really well is it uses like surrealism really well, more so than I've ever seen anyone do in a comedic sense. I've seen David Lynch do it awesomely in horror, but like this movie is just so funny, but in like a creative, strange way that's almost hard to describe. But I'll try to I'll burn one scene just so you can kind of get a feel of this scene of how this is going. So there's at one point he's calling a person. He needs money. He's calling Bank of America. He's calling Bank of America because he's got a $35 overdraft fee, and he's like, I deposited my money. Like I don't know like what the problem is. And she's like, but we flagged it for suspicious activity, and so we had to stop it for your protection. And he's like, yeah, but now I have an overdraft fee of $35. And he's like, yeah, it's for your protection. It's just like all that crap. And then as the scene is going on, like the world is sinking around him. And then the woman like materializes in front of him. And he's like sinking into this like pit of purple and mist. And he's like, please, I don't even need you to give me the money back. I just need you to tell me right now that this is screwed up and that you agree with me that they're taking advantage of us. I don't blame you. You just work for this place. Just be a human, please. And then she pauses for a second and she turns around. And she pulls out a handgun and points it right in his face, and she goes, I stand with Bank of America, and shoots him. And then it cuts to him walking down the street sad with his head slung. And I'm like, God damn it, this movie fucking gets it. This fucking gets it. It's so fun. It's full of scenes like that where it just over-exaggerates little moments into how it actually feels. Not how it is, how it feels inside your body. And like, it's so good. Problemista. Max. Great.
Okay.
Any questions?
That sounds funny.
Any questions on Problemista?
Anybody in it?
The gentleman who made it is Julio Torres, who made the show Los Spookies. Tilda Swinton's the main woman that he's like playing off of. She's playing a Tilda Swinton character, but like almost a Cate Blanchett Tilda Swinton. So like a eccentric, rich art lady, fraud, losing all her money, crazy colored hair kind of thing. And then her husband is RZA from Wu-Tang Clan, but he's not in most of the movie because he's the one who's frozen because he wants to come out at the end of the thing. And, it's just that, even that concept, this is so funny to me. Just like, yeah, just freeze yourself. But like, we don't have the technology yet, but like, one day we're going to figure this out, one day we're going to figure this all out. Like, it's just so wonderful. Problemista. Wonderful film.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got to ramble there at the end. Does anyone have any other movies, TV shows they want to mention? I know we've hit most of the bangers, at least for me. Anyone else?
No.
You got nothing, Nicole? You took care of your TV?
Did I talk about
any other good movies?
Did I talk about Expats last time? Expats?
What was it?
Expats? The Nicole Kidman movie? Yes.
I don't remember.
Or Nicole Kidman TV show?
I don't think so.
Oh, I think Mom K would like it. This is a TV show on Amazon Prime. Nicole Kidman and her husband are one of those couples that are really successful, live in Hong Kong. They gave her kid to a babysitter. The babysitter lost the kid. So the whole show is about her trying to find her kid amongst Hong Kong. And it was basically like
it's
a typical
white kid, right?
Well, her husband is not, so a mixed kid.
Okay.
Typical like drama for Nicole Kidman. I usually like her in things, so I thought it was good. I'm watching this show called From, and it kind of reminds me of Manifest. It's just this group of people. They drive in their car, and they all end up at this place, and there's no way to get out of it. So if you try to drive out of this area, it's just kind of like a continuous circle, and a lot of eerie things are happening around, and they're trying to figure out like what this means. What is this? Why are they there? Monsters come out at night, so they have to keep their door shut at night. So it's just kind of like a sci-fi movie or a sci-fi show. It's on Amazon Prime too.
That sounds very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds frustrating. That sounds like a nightmare to me, honestly.
It is a nightmare.
Getting stuck somewhere.
Getting stuck in a place where there's monsters that come out at night. So.
Oh, you know what?
And you have to keep going in a direction that you don't know what's happening. So I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just remembered we do have one more TV show to talk about, and it's one that Nicole actually has to talk about with me. And I think we've mentioned it on here before, but I got Nicole to watch Severance.
Oh, finally!
Severance time, baby.
Oh. I thought we talked about
Why
that
is it taking so long for this next freaking season?
The next season.
I remember
writer strike and then pandemic, everything. Yeah.
I watched Severance in like a day, and I texted Brendan. I was like, I know you don't watch TV shows, but you have to watch this. And then like he watched it in like a day.
Oh yeah, I watched it all in one night, and then we watched it again.
And I was like,
Nicole.
I remember I was like, you have to call me where they get to the part where they're dancing. I don't know what song it was.
The Waffle Party.
But the Waffle Party. I'm like, you have to call me when you get to that part. And then he was like, I just binged it all. I forgot to call you in that part.
No, I called you at the very end because I was like, wait, she's I don't even want to spoil, but like I was like, oh my god, the person. Anyway, Nicole, what did you think of Severance?
I
think I figured it out in like the first 5 minutes.
The twist with whatever, that's fine. I think you did too, but
that's because she's the clue master.
That's right. All you do is solve riddles. Watch clue movies.
That's true. It's all the true crime.
That's so funny. That's why I liked it.
It's also why you don't like other movies that are too good at it, because at the 30-minute mark, you'll be asking me, like, what's going on? Who is it? I'm like, I don't know. I'm watching it with you. And then you get mad. You're like, I just want to figure it out. I'm like, no, just watch the movie.
Let me tell you, when I was growing up and me and my mom would watch CSI, I would get furious at her because she would figure that shit out in the first, 10 minutes, and I didn't have a chance. She always knew what the thing was going to be. And I'm like, come on.
Coming from somewhere, and now you're the one who figures it out first.
Now it's you.
You're in charge now.
But yeah, I did like it. I'm looking forward to the next season.
It comes out in January, right?
Well, that's right around the corner. It's basically Christmas.
Immediately
right now,
after watching it, I think maybe 6 episodes in, Nicole turned to me and she's like, "Why did you have me watch this now? Like, why didn't we wait till right before?" I was like, damn, you were really right. We should have done this right before, because that would have been such a good flow.
I think I am gonna rewatch it right before, because
I'll at least watch the last episode.
So how many?
What was that?
How many episodes is it?
9, 8.
How much? Oh, is it one season only?
Only one right now, but they're making the second one comes out beginning of next year.
I can't believe it's only one season. I feel like it's been out there and you're right, it must be from COVID and the writer's strike.
Yeah,
but it feels like it's been out there forever. I didn't even know they were making another season, so.
Is everyone going to look different? Is everyone going to look like 6 years older or whatever? Like,
you know what I'm also waiting for is Stranger Things. Like, it's been 2, 2.5 years, I think, since the last.
Are they
one.
still making that? What was the last thing they made? Was it season 4 with the long haired guy?
It was one with the rock star was in it, and he died.
Yeah, I know you loved that guy.
I loved him.
Yeah, well, we'll see if season 5 ever comes out. Maybe that'll be the time we finally get Netflix again. I keep saying that though; it's been years, so maybe not. Maybe we're done with Netflix. They have too much content to catch up on.
When you're home, you can watch Netflix for a little bit.
Oh, that's right. We're going to be there soon. That's actually a good opportunity to catch up on.
I did watch one thing on Netflix while I was at my mom's house. It was a baking competition show. Hosted by Sandra Lee. It was the
oh no,
the county fair pie blue ribbon baking competition for Americans or something. I don't remember what the hell it was called.
I don't think that's probably what it was called.
Are you sure you weren't watching the Hallmark Channel?
No,
it's like a Hallmark movie.
It does. But Sandra Lee, she was from Food Network, and she had cancer, and she bounced back. She looks great. She's doing really well for herself. I'm really proud of her. Saw her on QVC. She's doing good things.
That's good to hear.
What's she hawking on QVC? Cookware?
I think they were just interviewing her, but I think she must have been selling something like that.
Well, since you're talking about competition cooking shows, we have watched the new season of Barbecue Showdown, just in case anybody needs to know. It's actually called the Great American Barbecue Showdown. I think this was season 3. And if you want to I have never been more humbled by seeing a hostess in my life. This woman came on the first season, and I was like, we were debating about whether she was in her 60s or 70s, and it turns out she's younger than both Lloyd and I. So we're just, we watched this and we are just dumbfounded by, it's every episode we're like, are you sure we're talking about is this the same lady, right? She's like a barbecue. She's the most famous female barbecue pitmaster. And she looks like she smokes like 4,000 camels a day. And
4,000 pounds of brisket a day. That's what'll do it to you.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was just smoking like internally that makes you look like that. But apparently also if you smoke brisket meat every weekend for your whole life. Yeah. But if you do get a chance, you might just want to take a look at her and just kind of...
This woman with the blonde hair here?
You might want to help me out a little bit. What's that?
This woman with the blonde hair with the bangs?
She has bangs in the first season that's really bad.
Yeah, I see that.
The bangs are bad. Yeah. And then she gets a different hairstyle, but it doesn't help the rest of her at all. And the best part is like the people who are on the show they're genuinely very kind, and they usually all wind up loving each other. And so I love that. It's the Great British Bake Off in a smoking meat situation. So
it sounds a little more interesting than the cakes, just because I feel like there's more dynamism with cooking. But yeah, maybe something.
Well, I mean, I'd rather eat cake though than barbecue. So.
Well, I mean, in the end, you're not really eating either. It's more of what you prefer to watch being made. I like baking. It requires a lot of precision, a lot of timing, and for some reason, that's less entertaining to actually watch. More entertaining to do.
I don't know. If you watch the Barbecue Showdown, if you got to make 2 meats and 2 sides and a dessert, I don't know. I mean, I like the fire aspect of it because I do like fire a lot, so that's always a fun thing. And when people drop stuff in the fire.
When there's a fire and they drop stuff in the fire.
Yeah. I like that.
Mama K's had some NyQuil.
I like when the fire and they drop things in the fire. Oh my god. Sun's getting real low.
Winding down.
We got what do I got? I got a bunch of other like random movies I saw, older movies. I saw all the Planet of the Apes, the new ones, the new 4 ones or whatever there are, including War. I saw War, but what's the newest one? Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. They're all pretty good. They're all much better than they should be. You'd think they'd be schlocky and bad, but they're not. And the second one is biblical. Very good. So if you only watch one of them, it's kind of weird because Caesar's the main character, and you got to kind of watch the first 3 to get his whole arc and everything. But it's the Empire Strikes Back of monkey movies. It's the dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which even though they're named so inappropriately, the first one's The first one's Rise. The second one's Dawn.
Yeah.
You should flip those. And then the third one's War of the Planet of the Apes. But there's no war in War of the Planet of the Apes. It's like a prison movie. So, like, it doesn't make any sense. But they're good movies.
Well, there's the OG Planet of the Apes, and that's why the second one, it's not really, I mean, I guess it's a remake, but that's why it's, Dawn, or...
Well, yeah, all these ones...
Rise, or whatever you said.
These ones are not remakes. These are, like, almost taking the premise in a different direction. Where, like, the original one's kind of like... The original one's almost like Twilight Zone-y, where it's like an extended Twilight Zone, because then the whole thing is supposed to be the twist, I think, in the first one. And then, there's, like, a Tim Burton remake one, and then there's been a couple. But,
Is there?
Yeah, but these new ones are, like, not based on, like, Charles Heston, like, it's not about space people coming back to the planet at all. It's all about how Earth goes from humans to monkeys, how we make a virus or something that's supposed to cure Alzheimer's, I think, and it makes primates super smart and starts making humans dumb, and so, like, they slowly take over and we slowly fall back, and yeah, that's the Planet of the Apes movies. They're good. They sound stupid and horrible, but they're not. They should be like Fast and Furious movies, but they're not. They're like Mad Max movies. They're really well made. But yeah, if you have a Hulu, the Planet of the Apes movies are on there, and they are worth a damn. So, what else? What other things did I have? Suitable Flesh is a film on Hulu.
Fast and Furious.
Oh, I guess I did.
I watched a Fast and Furious movie. I don't know which one it was because I was in my that's when I was in the high fever stupor of my illness.
Describe what happens. I can probably guess.
I don't know. I mean, it's basically Vin Diesel and Paul Walker driving cars. So
you're not even reviewing this one. You're just telling me that you watched a Fast and Furious movie. You don't even know which one.
I'm not reviewing it at all because I think I asked Lloyd 7 or 8 times while we were watching it, is this number 5 or number 6? And it doesn't matter, does it? But I remember asking those questions but never listening for the answer. So.
I understand that you think that, but 5 is one of the best ones and 6 is, pretty bad. So.
Oh, really? So I've only seen Hobbs and Shaw, which is not really, that's like an adjacent.
5 is about as good as Hobbs and Shaw, in my opinion, and then 6 is really bad. So, but like 5 has they're pulling safes down the street with big chains, and then 6.
Yes, that's the one I saw.
Oh, that's the good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. Fast
That's
5.
the good one.
Well, yeah, because the next one they're running after a plane, and they did the math. Like the chase sequence is like 30 minutes or something. They were like the plane runway would need to be like 17 miles long or some crazy ridiculous thing for that scene to have taken place.
Because it's that.
Because Fast and Furious, right? I think we're kind of really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Anyone have any new contemporary things before we close this one out?
Sir.
Anything else on your I know you have a couple other movies, Jess, but probably ones you can table for now. Nothing else worth discussing.
Did you see Twister?
I didn't see Twisters, the new the sequel to the original Twister. Yeah, no. How was that?
Wow, I thought you would have seen it.
It's not really my kind of. Okay, I might see it when it comes out on streaming. I know you also saw Trap, which Nicole and I will absolutely be seeing when that comes out on streaming. So let's.
Oh yeah,
let's
if you like Taken, it's like Taken.
I would like to say,
like
I am sure that I'm going to have opinions on Trap because that's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and he writes like an alien, so he's going to have all kinds of weird dialogue that I'm going to get to pick on. So very excited for that. But in the meantime, thanks guys for covering these films. This is film, TV shows, YouTube channels, I suppose. There was some on there. You have anything you guys are looking forward to in the fall? Anything catch your eye of any sort? On media? Joker, Folly of Do looks pretty good. Time. I didn't know you were a Joker fan. Nicole and I like Joker, the first Joker too.
Yeah, I think we all liked it. Didn't it win in our
well, not all of us.
Our favorite that year?
No, that year was the Parasite year.
Can't hear you, Brent.
I can't hear you.
Sorry. That was the Parasite year, but it won our listener tournament. You're right.
Yeah, this one has Harley Quinn in it too, right?
Lady Gaga
version. Okay. Yeah, I might see that.
Yeah. You want to do that one with me, Nicole? You want to dust off the theater pass for that one?
Yeah, I'll consider it.
Well,
I was thinking about seeing a show. It's not new, but maybe there's a new season. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about it. It's that one with Selena Gomez, Murders in the Building.
Oh,
Murders in the Building.
Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
The one also with the Martins.
What?
Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Yeah, I was saying that's what I was asking. Is that the TV show that's also with the Martins? Yeah, that's what I call them.
With the Martins, yes, yeah. That's coming out like next week, I think.
Oh well, I better get started.
You've seen the other three, right?
No, I haven't ever seen any of it. That's on my two watch list.
You have to because of Clue. I mean, it's very.
I know. It just came up on my socials.
I thought it was more like a comedy, and there's like a murder, but they don't really focus on the murder. It's more of just like a comedy sitcom kind of movie show.
Yeah, I thought it was more of the comedy was the point, and then like the thing was more of like window dressing for jokes.
Yeah, I mean, I never seen it. That's just what I thought.
I think it's more of a mix than that. And the most recent season was even more mystery-like than the first two, I think.
A mix like that Kristen Bell show, the Only the Woman Drinks the Wine in the Window While Watching You, or whatever it's called.
That's an awfully long title for that.
The actual title was way longer. I shortened it. I'm also seeing here, Simple Favor 2 is slated for 2025. So,
yeah.
A simpler favor?
Get canceled.
I don't know how that's going to
work. Yeah, I
work,
was going to say, did Blake, have you already filmed that? Or I don't think she could be seen anytime soon.
They need to keep her off the press junket.
I'll say they still released Death of the Nile, and that had like 3 canceled actors. That had like Armie Hammer and Russell Brand, and I think Letitia Wright had just said something negative at that time. Like it was a mess when that one came out. Kenny B was clutching his pearls, but that is our catch-up show.
He kept going.
He did. Hopefully, I want him to make another one. They're bad every time, but I believe in the next one.
They've gotten worse. Progressively.
I disagree.
Worse.
I think the last one had the highest highs. The second one's the best one. The first one's so boring.
No.
Celebrities on a Train is boring. Celebrities on a Boat better.
No.
The one with the canceled actors is better. That
hard to watch Gal Gadot.
That was that's all right. I agree with you. That is the catch-up show. Thank you guys for being on. In the meantime, if you have things to recommend to us, Films with the Women in My Life on Facebook. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm Brennan_podhost. And you can email the show with questions, suggestions, recommendations, all that stuff. filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. All right. Thank you guys for being on this catch-up show. We'll catch up again soon when there's newer things to talk about.
Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye.
See you soon.
Bye. Mustard.
Until next time, this is Brennan signing off, saying thanks for listening. Enjoy your movies.
Thanks for listening to Films with the Women in My Life. If you enjoyed being a listener in our life, please rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or on your favorite podcast app. Keep up with the latest from the show on Instagram at Brennan_podhost, on Facebook at Films with the Women in My Life, and on Twitter at FilmsWomenPod. Finally, you can email the show with questions and suggestions at filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. Original music for the show was created by Ian Burke and Chris Iwanek. Original artwork created by Nicole D'Alessio. This show is produced by Brennan Snyder. Thank you again for listening and enjoy your movies.